Most people see the Titan. They see the mountain of muscle, the silver screen icon, the governor of the world's 8th largest economy. They see the statue. They don't see the dirt. They don't see the small, dark house in post-war Austria where the floor was cold and the future was non-existent. They don't see the father, a man defined by rigid, suffocating discipline and a preference for his brother over the gangly, quiet boy who dared to dream of something else. This was a house of silence, of rigid expectations, and of a hunger that went far deeper than an empty stomach. While other children were content to stay within the lines drawn by their village, Arnold was already looking at the horizon. He didn't just want to escape the village of Thal. He wanted to evaporate the very idea of it. He found his map in the pages of tattered bodybuilding magazines. To the people around him, these were just pictures of men in trunks. To Arnold, they were blueprints of a new species. He didn't see vanity. He saw the ultimate physical manifestation of willpower. He realized that if he could build his own body, he could build his own fate. He was tired of being the underdog. So, he went to the iron. He didn't have fancy equipment. He had primitive bars and a heart that refused to settle for the life he was born into. This was the 0 point. This was the moment where he decided that if the world wasn't going to give him a seat at the table, he would build the table himself. The gym was his cathedral, but the training was his war. Most people think bodybuilding is about muscles. Arnold knew it was about the math of persistence. He understood a truth that most will spend their entire lives ignoring. Life is just a series of reps. If you do more, if you go harder, if you squeeze just one more second out of every single set, when your nerves are screaming for you to quit, you win. It's not magic. It's arithmetic. He was training 5 hours a day, obsessively, with a vision so sharp it was almost painful. While his peers were partying, he was in the gym. While they were sleeping, he was visualizing the Mr. Universe title. He didn't just want to be a bodybuilder. He wanted to be the biggest thing the world had ever seen. People laughed. They called him the Austrian Oak, with a sneer. They told him it was impossible to be a champion from a tiny village in the middle of nowhere. But Arnold loved the naysayers. He fed on their doubt. Every time someone told him no, it was just more fuel for the fire. He was building his physique as a monument to his own defiance. He moved to America with nothing but a dream and a thick, heavy accent that every expert said would kill his chances in Hollywood. They said he was too big, too weird, too robotic. They were right. He was all of those things, and he turned every single one of those flaws into a multi-million-dollar trademark. He didn't fit the mold, so he broke the mold and forged a new one. This is the Strive Logic core. You don't change your vision to fit the world. You sharpen your vision until the world has no choice but to change for you. Hollywood didn't just reject him. They laughed in his face. They told him he was a freak of nature, a sideshow act that would never hold the screen. He was told to change his name, to lose the accent, to shrink his body. Any lesser man would have complied. They would have traded their soul for a seat at the table. Arnold did the opposite. He looked at the industry and realized they were bored. They were stagnant. He didn't try to blend in. He brought a shockwave. He approached acting with the same mechanical precision he brought to the gym. He took classes. He studied the craft. He learned the rhythm of dialogue until it was as natural as a bicep curl. He didn't wait for the right role. He created the role of Conan, and then the role of the Terminator. He turned his supposed liabilities, the massive frame, the impenetrable accent, into assets that made him the most recognizable face on the planet. He realized that in a world of clones, being an anomaly is your greatest competitive advantage. He proved that if you are relentless, you can force the industry to reshape itself around you. The transition from the screen to the state capitol was the ultimate test. Critics said a bodybuilder couldn't run a state. They said it was a publicity stunt. But Arnold had been training for this his entire life. He understood that leadership, like bodybuilding, is about the work you put in when the cameras are off. He didn't run a state with ego. He ran it with the ruthless efficiency of a CEO who knows that the stakes are human lives. He tackled massive debts, environmental crises, and political deadlock with the same first principles, thinking that brought him to Mr. Olympia. He didn't get bogged down in the political noise. He focused on the output. He faced recalls, public backlash, and intense scrutiny. Yet, he stayed on mission. He proved that a man who has mastered his own body and his own ambition is capable of mastering any system. Why do we study Arnold? Is it for the fame? No. It's for the architecture of his mind. He operates on a set of rules that are as brutal as they are simple. No plan B. Because plan B is just a safety net for people who are planning to fail. Ignore the naysayers, because their fear is not your reality. Work your ass off, because there is no shortcut to the top. And finally, give back, because your success is empty if it doesn't lift others. Arnold understands that life is not about the arrival. It is about the infinite repetition of excellence. Every day is a new set. Every project is a new challenge. He doesn't look at age as a decline. He looks at it as a new phase of the game. He shows us that the struggle is not something to be avoided. It is the resistance that builds the character. If this breakdown of the elite mindset is hitting home for you, take a second to hit that like button. Share this with someone who needs the push, and subscribe to Strive Logic. We are building a community of people who refuse to settle. Join us. This is not a history lesson. This is a mirror. You are currently standing at your own starting line. You are facing your own doubts, your own bullies, your own Hollywood-sized walls. The world is waiting for you to tell it who you are. Stop asking for permission to be great. Stop waiting for the perfect moment to start your first rep. The perfect moment is a lie designed to keep you stagnant. You have to build your monument, brick by brick, rep by rep, day by agonizing day. Do you want the life, or do you just want the applause? If you want the life, you must be willing to endure the fire. You must be willing to do the work that no one else is willing to do. This is the Strive Logic mindset. This is the architecture of your own impossibility. Go out and build. Strive or stay stagnant.